Colin here and welcome back to the channel, and I've got something a little different today. My friends over at pounded.com sent me this neat little 35mm film camera to test out, but this isn't your typical camera as you can see with this flashy design. This is the Sardina camera from Lomography, which comes with the Ale Giorgini design. I don't know if I said that right. Never mind. Anyway, so yeah, while I was like super yes about the whole idea of jumping straight into film with the hopes of getting the authentic film look, I was also worried about getting it right. As I was going through the unboxing process, I found this cool little book which came with a package. La Sardina, seeing the world through a sardine cam. A sardine cam. Yeah. And anyway, it lists the 10 golden rules of lomography, and after a bit of reading, I think that's how I want to break down my first experience with analog photography. Now, before anything else, I want to let everyone know that I'm no pro photographer, and again, this is my first time into film, so bear with me if a number of the results aren't so amazing. So anyway, without further ado, rule number 1. Take your camera everywhere you go. And rule number 2, use it anytime, day and night. I took the La Sardina out for a spin after a couple of errands over at UP Diliman, and I called up an old friend who has this cool looking beard and asked him if he was down to shoot for a bit.
What's up, man? Shoot tayo today? Yeah, man.
Okay.
And yeah, no beard.
Ano feel mo gawin today?
Ang feel ko gawin today, pre. Feel ko mag-photoshoot. Gamit yung mga film camera.
Eto ba?
Tignan mo naman, pre. Nakalagay, pre. La Sardina.
Alright.
The Sardine. Pre, what a very nice nautical feel. Oh, tignan mo to. Mukha siyang periscope. Yung sight ng camera mo mukhang periscope. Alam niyo ba kung ano yung periscope? Ang periscope yung ginagamit ng mga submarine para makita nila above water.
Some nice facts for the viewers out there. That's
Bing!
right. Game, saan tayo?
Ikaw?
Dala mo ba motor mo?
Oo, dala ko motor.
Oh, dala mo motor mo?
Oo, dala ko motor.
Alright, let's go.
Let's go.
Oh, ito na ba yun?
Voila.
That's nice, man. That's sick. Yo!
But yes, a Harley, and boy was I excited.
Guys, si Carlo nga pala, single and ready to mingle.
1,800cc.
It would be cool to get some shots with this one using this camera. Game?
Let's just try to get him in a nice frame.
After a couple of shots, we went to the University Amphitheater, which is behind the popular ablation, for maybe some more cool shots.
Safety first. Always wear your helmet. Siyempre, kasama yun. Di tayo ka-motor rider.
Alright. Alright. Thanks, man. Alright, this is is us.
So at this point, I wanted to get a bit experimental with what the camera can do, so let's talk specs just a little bit. The camera uses 35mm film and comes with a fixed f8 aperture that particularly works well with film that has ISO 100 to 400. I got the Lomography 100 color negative from Satchme in UP Town Center beforehand, which by default has this vivid look and low grain because of that low ISO. The main lens has a 22mm focal length with a minimum focusing distance of about 0.6 meters. Shooting has two modes, a normal/bulb mode and a multiple exposure mode.
Kaya itong BN, black and white?
Hindi, bulb tsaka normal mode.
Okay, so ito.
So pag naka-bulb ka or /normal, pwede mong isang click lang or pwede mong i-hold, bubukas yung shutter. Yung shutter.
I don't know.
So okay siya, kunyari gusto mo ng mas matagal na long exposure shot, i-hold mo yung button.
But for me, what's more interesting is the multiple exposure switch. After shooting once, you slide the switch in front of the viewfinder and you can shoot again to expose on top of your previous shot. Now, because it was my first time with film, I made plenty of mistakes early on here and there, particularly with camera shake, as you can see on the photos. But that brings us to rule number 3. Lomography isn't an interference, but a part of your life. And rule number 8 expounds on that later on. Rule number 5. Approach the subject of your lomographic desire as close as possible. Wow, that sounds intimate. Anyway, so we tried to mix and match whatever shooting ideas we could test for the camera. Probably another thing interesting about Lomo is trying to get the focus right, but because most of the time it's just on good guesstimates. At some point along the way, it just becomes irrelevant for as long as you know you've captured the feel of the moment. So yeah, rule number 5, just get as close as possible and just shoot away.
As a veteran UP student, bakit bawal magpa-picture kay Oble?
May long-standing, paano ba? Myth
ba yun?
folklore, legend na sinasabi na pag nagpa-picture ka daw kay Oble tapos hindi ka pag-graduate, madedelay ka raw. And kung gaano ka katagal madedelay is kung gaano karaming UP shirts yung meron ka.
What?
Oo, seryoso!
Welcome to destination number 3, area 2.
What? Sana yung destination number 2 natin, area 2.
Wala eh.
It doesn't make any sense. Diba? Leave in the comment section kung bonak si Colin.
So one of the rules of lomography is shooting from the hip. It's about the moment that you're shooting. So like this, wala tayong pake, shoot ko lang, sana lumabas na maganda. Di ba? Yun lang naman yun eh.
Ikaw, ano ang tingin mong pinakamalupit na kainan dito sa area 2?
Crazy chicken.
Pre, we are meant to be. Let's go. Crazy chicken.
Spicy soy garlic na...
Wings lang po, available sir.
Okay lang ba yun sa'yo? Wings lang.
Oo.
Tatlo. Wings.
Dining po.
Apo.
Yung akin po ate, isang garlic parmesan.
Garlic parmesan, tsaka spicy soy.
Yun, so we're having a little merienda here at Crazy Chicken. May malakas ang motor pero sana hindi ma-pick up yun sa video.
Isipin nyo guys, 89 pesos. Tatlong chicken, may sauce pa. Kikanin ka pa.
Sarap to, sarap to. Kailan ba lumabas yung Crazy Chicken? Hindi ko alam pre. Basta masarap.
After about 28 or less shots in UP and some good chicken around sunset time, we decided on a final destination to test some indoor and flash photography. Right on then, CARLO was planning to meet some newfound friends over at Maginhawa Street to hang out for a bit, so I just went with that. Golden rule number 6, don't think. Golden rule number 7, be fast. Alright. Maybe in the same vein as me tagging along with Carlo, don't think and be fast. YOLO!
Alright, so nandito kami ngayon sa Bebes. Yeah, that's what it's really called. Bebes Resto Bar. It's an open mic style place. We're here because may meet si Carlo dito. And this is also a good place to test the flash that comes with the La Sardina. This is called I think it's Fritz the Blitz flash. Tapos may settings siya. So hopefully matry namin kay Carlo yung flash style.
Ganda yan
photography.
kasi maitim ako.
Rule number 8. You don't have to know what you capture on film beforehand. I mean, with film where every shot counts, it's hard not to think about getting it right all the time. But I see a certain appeal here that has been lost to us in the digital age today. When it comes to smartphones and even cameras, we tend to get so into that shooting process that we don't get to experience what's actually happening around us. With this camera, you can take 1 or 2 exposures for every event and soak up your senses with the actual experience. And when you get your photos back, you have actual memories that you can associate with those photos. Stories that you can talk about with your friends and family. Rule number 8 is quickly followed up by rule number 9, which says, afterwards either. And in the same respect, when you press that shutter button, you've captured the moment, so move on to the next one. This isn't me being a snob about these things. It's just that during the experience, I felt that analog has that kind of appeal. Am I saying that you should give up your more techie cameras and devices for film? Absolutely not. It's just a totally different yet fun experience, and that's what I'm trying to say. And finally, this is all beautifully capped by rule number 10. Don't worry about the rules. Did I mess up my shots? Yes. Do I feel bad? No, not really. Was it a bit of a journey? Yes. Yes, it definitely was. Honestly, even if only one photo made it out all right out of those 36 exposures, at this point, I wouldn't mind. As you hold the La Sardina camera longer in your hand, the technicality seems to just slip away, leading you towards a more involved moment. Because I guess that's what it really is all about when it comes to lomography. I mean, sure, yeah, I made plenty of mistakes here and there, but I had fun, and I think Carlo had fun. And the stuff that came out okay gave a satisfying feeling to me. I have at least one photo that would remind me of that fun day. Add to that the aesthetic natural to these kinds of cameras, the experience and the results are definitely things that can't exactly be replicated by filters on smartphone cameras or even in post. And for that, I'd like to thank Pounded.com for sending over the La Sardina camera and fast-tracking my entry into film. I'd just be a little more careful with my next roll of film, but this definitely won't be the last time I'll be using an analog camera. If you're digging the La Sardina and this amazing design, or if you want to take a stab at film for the first time like I did, well, it's all on sale over at Pounded.com, where products are 100% legit with full manufacturer's warranties at competitive prices. Like I've said before, you can use the code ManilaGear250 or the link below to get a 250 peso discount on your purchase. Also, shout out to Sunny16 Lab. The guys over there are really hard at smoothing out the film developing part in analog photography. I went there with just one roll of film and only had to wait about an hour to get my negatives and my scans back, and they were really nice and accommodating. If you enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed my first dip into the world of analog photography, hit that like button and maybe even subscribe as well if you're up for more content like this. I know I wasn't able to post last week, but I've got some more interesting stuff coming up for sure, maybe even involving a little bit of travel. So yeah, see you in the next one. Bye.
Thank you. It's been a real pleasure, man. Next time ulit. Bye.
Watch me on the next video.